And that was the same livery he ran when I very first commentated on him. Oops, that's someone in the background you saw spinning there. That's someone getting out of the way as well. Now, with the DRS open for that a little bit too long, there's a lot of horses, 600 horsepower, I believe, in these Formula Renault 3.5s, that all just tries to dump onto the tarmac. And if the DRS is not closed when you're trying to corner, it will just snap. You have to be very, very brave to try and corner without DRS closed. There is Elodie just coming through 5 and 6 into Pirelli. Who else can we find? Steve G. And have we just had... No, Steve G in the Panasonic car in 8th position, 117.196. There is Cataglypse. He's just coming to complete his... Oops, runs a little bit too wide on the exit of 10. Does he improve from 9th? 117.280. He does. Up one position, 117.096.
Sorry to interrupt you there, King. We had some technical issues. People couldn't hear us, so
oh no.
We quickly have to do the intro again. So welcome to the Revolution Cup Season 5. We are today at Red Bull Ring. We are currently in qualifying, and unfortunately King Kodiak has already wasted a little bit of his energy. But
I have much more where that came from, believe you me.
Yeah, good. And yeah, if you were wondering why there were some lags, that was because I had to alt-tab out of the game. That might have influence the recording a bit to solve the issues, but I think now we should good to go and have some fun watching the rest 2 minutes of the qualifying.
Indeed, we've actually had a new pole man. F48 Murphy has actually gone the pole time, 1:50.537, and also TX3 Stu has dethroned Puff Pirate as well by 0.02 of a second, 1:17.747 against 1:15.749.
Yeah.
For those two drivers respectively. Actually, Puff Pirate's back in the pits. He will not have time to improve. And that is his day done. So Puff Pirate will start no higher than third. Taudu in fourth and 1:16.192 as he's streaming down towards, where is he? He is coming down towards turn 3, Remus. So he is on a lap. Elodie in 5th position. It's difficult to know which one is which because the track is so short and we've got 32 cars out there trying to find available space. It's often difficult to know which car we're actually looking at. And, that is the view from Elodie. So it doesn't matter where you are on track, you are going to find someone. If we look at the map, that's how busy it is. So it's pretty amazing that anyone is able to find any kind of available track at all.
Yeah, but I think that will be already quite a practice for... I mean, we are running mostly longer tracks, but we have Laguna Seca on the schedule, which is...
Whoa! Oh, that was someone getting it wrong.
That was someone getting it wrong. Yeah, we have also Laguna Seca on the schedule, which is, according to the length, quite similar to this track, so they actually can already do a little bit of pre-practice to that round to sort out qualifying strategy. And I mean, Laguna Seca will be at the end of the season, so it will be the tension of a potential championship there, so...
Yeah, absolutely great circuit as well. We're watching Elodie, then he's just been demoted to 6th as Manu's jumped up to 5th position, 1:16.284. We'll just watch Elodie come over the line. Does he improve? 1:16.701. He does not improve, but he has beaten the flag. So he is on a time lap. He does have time to finish it. Poleman, Murphy, 1:15.537.
And the time is over. So
the checkered flag is out. So anyone not on a lap has not got an opportunity to improve. Stu and Puff Pirate, 2nd and 3rd respectively, are in the pits. That's not going to help. Oh, no,
that was aggressive.
That's not good. That's... Yeah, and there you go. That's Murphy. Really should have got out of that a little bit early. He was already on pole. But, the benefit of hindsight. Taudu, 4th, 1:16.192. DRS wide open on the car. Well, I say wide open. It's very actually difficult to tell. It doesn't open very much visually, but it makes a huge difference.
And I also don't think that the insert is correct all the time because
I'm not convinced it did either.
it showed DRS open in wind curve, and yeah, that is quite a risky move.
No, not a chance in hell. Not at that speed. You'd be off into the dust if you had DRS open through.
Probably yes. Yeah.
Elodie is throwing that away at the very last. He went too deep into turn 10. Has been that one. Deluvian is still on track, but his day is done. Eugene Geikin is coming over the line then. He's 19th, 1:18.338. Does he improve? He does not. He remains where he is. The 32 cars we will have for our first race today is a sprint race and a feature race. 15 laps in our sprint race, dictated by this very qualifying that we have just witnessed. And then a second qualifying session will take place to dictate the grid for the feature race. So a lot of action to come.
Yeah, it will be definitely great racing. I mean, we had that track as a season opener in Season 3 and it provided extremely close racing. So I'm expecting a lot because long straights. So I think drafting will come a lot into play. And yeah, I mean, the first 1.5 sectors, it's pretty much full flat out, hammering the brakes, tight corner, and again full flat out. So we could see some interesting maneuvers there.
Yeah, absolutely. Down to the grid then for the 2 minutes short. This particular session, for those unfamiliar, this is just where the drivers get to choose make any setup changes they wish to do. It's not fixed setups for this, so the drivers can make any alterations they feel necessary based on the qualifying session they've just had. Of course, Murphy in that top spot, and that's going to be very crucial with such a busy grid.
And something also to add is, well, maybe you are a regular watching the Revolution Cup. This season, again, another change. We are doing standing starts because that's mainly used for open wheel cars, except for Indy cars and kart cars back in the days. So standing starts, that is new. It could be a challenge for some drivers because normally, we are mostly doing rolling starts. So a little bit of an extra challenge for the guys, but yeah, I think they will do it great, and it will definitely provide some great excitement.
Oh, I'll say 32 cars, or everybody nervous and tense then as the time continues to count down. Obviously 15 laps will blast past pretty quickly on this circuit, but then we'll have the feature race following on that will of course then extend that. I'm not certain off the top of my head how many laps are in the feature race, but
I think it's 30 laps. It's pretty much doubled the distance.
Double the sprint. That makes perfect sense. So Murphy and TX3 Stu have the front row. Puff Pirate and Tauju are in the row 2.
So
with Manu and Elodir with row 3. Gosku and Steve G row 4. And Copper Piston and Deluvian have row 5. Here it is. Wind them up and let them go. Murphy getting a pretty decent start. Wanting to hang on to this lead, but of course Stu's going to have the inside line.
Oh, very nice from Stu. Half Pirate going wide.
Yeah, Manny's made a couple of positions up already, and just keeping an eye on further back. Everyone seems to have made a pretty decent start.
And Murphy is going to the inside. He is trying to outbrake Stu, and he does it. I think including a little slide job.
Yeah, Puff Pirate's gone through in the second. That's Stu. There's actually he's had a trouble through turn 3. He's lost the position to Money. The Red Denverville car is just managed to nose ahead. Get a little bit of
lockup.
Yeah, but he's managed to keep okay. There's Eldir and Tauju side by side coming through Roush now. 3 wide. Oh, that is brave. I mean, the circuit is wide enough, but it's very, very brave.
Oh, and we have a Fanatec car off.
There was Tauju. Yeah, Tauju. I can't click on his name because every time I try to moves.
But and Thomas Sikor also off.
So yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to click on Tauju's name, but it moved every time I tried to click on it. Murphy then hanging on to the lead. Puff Pirate up to second. Manu now 3. TX3. T3 Stu is in 4th. And there is Steve G up to 5th position. There's Elodir as well in the yellow car. So lots of action going on. It's going to be impossible for us to keep up with all of it. Look at this big pack.
That's quite a gaggle.
Yeah, isn't it just? Ashnu then having a look at the inside. Doesn't get to move on Common Piston. Pushes Catchings wide. And again, they're looking for another 3-wide maneuver coming through turn 2 and into turn 3.
Yeah, very nice first lap from the guys. So we have now Half Pirate following Murphy on the Schönberg-Gerade. Already a little bit of a gap, but I hope he can close it again. But I'm expecting Stu trying to overtake Manu in the near future again, because I think he can run with the top 2 guys.
Here's Copper Piston battle for 7th position.
A little bit of contact.
Yeah, a little bit of contact. We've got people in the pits then, unfortunately. We've got 4 cars actually coming in the pits. That's Thomas Sikora, Tauji. What a shame for Tauji, who was doing so well early on. Khalib and Jacob P have all felt the need to come in. Stu had quite a bad lap last time around. He's got Manu on his tail. So,
yeah, but Stu has overtaken Manu somewhere in the infield, so that's something we might have missed.
Indeed, Puff Pirate then keeping the pressure on Murphy. Murphy going right to the defensive line very, very early as they come into turn 1. We're on lap 3 now.
But now, I think Puff Pirate has to run. Puff Pirate has to run.
Oh, you can just see the D-Box car then just managing to creep back ahead. Is Puff Pirate going to have a move on the inside of turn 3?
Yeah, he's only having a look, But Murphy going a little bit wide. So could be the chance now on Schönberg gerade.
Down that straight then, heading towards turn 4, turn Roush. You can see Manu is right on Stu's case as well behind. And just behind them another pair, that's Steve G and Eladir that are having their battle. That's for, so 2 by 2 by 2. The first 6 positions having their battles in pairs. That's nearly 3 seconds between Puff Pirate and Stu. Stu obviously losing time defending against Manu. Puff Pirate keeping the pressure on for that race lead. There's Manu. He's fallen off the back a little bit of Stu. I think he's made a mistake through Peretti and to lose a little bit of time there. Eladir is keeping up with Steve G for 5th position. And the field has spread out a little bit now. There's still plenty of battles going on further down, but at the moment, all eyes are on Puff Pirate and Murphy for the lead.
Yeah, and probably Puff Pirate will now curse it that we have open DRS rule, because otherwise he would have probably a pretty easy game. But now also Leppers come into play, so hopefully he's not really impeding the leaders. Oh, he's doing it well. He's making room.
Yeah, I think that's Tauji. It is indeed. So he jumped out of the way just in time. And is that Murphy?
Yeah, that is Murphy. Murphy is spun. And now he has to wait.
Very careful. Yeah, he's got to be very careful how he rejoins. He's actually hit reverse. He's done it quite right. It's going to cost him a whole mass of time. But he's done that quite correct. If he'd spun that back around to try and get him going again, he would have been on the racing line, absolutely stationary. So Murphy's done that right. Down to 7th with Catch a Glimpse. And that is Deluvian right with them. So what a shame then for Murphy. One very small mistake at Rinus. And that has sent him right the way down the field.
Yeah, on that corner you have to be extremely careful to be not too hard on the throttle too early, because otherwise it's very easy to spin your car. Especially if you run a more open diff setup, which he probably does. But yeah, very unfortunate for him.
Few more people in the pits then. James L91, Eugene Geiken, and Meerkat have come in. I mean, pitting on a sprint race is always pretty much the death of your race, but of course on such a short lap, it's almost certainly going to put you a lap down. Puff Pirate's got some more back markers then to deal with. I think that's Jacob P. It is indeed. And I'm not entirely sure who that is ahead of Jacob P. That's not actually, that's not Khalid.
I think it's Thomas Sikora. Yeah.
Oh, good guess. Yes, it was indeed. You're far more observant than I am with deliveries. You have a much better memory than I do. So Puff Pirate leads TX2 by 3 seconds then, who leads Manu by another 2.1. Another 2.5 then to Steve G. He's just losing a bit of time on Steve G. Not by much, but it's enough that's putting him out of attacking race. There is Ashnu, who's actually got the pole sitter, F4 Murphy, right with him, and Deluvian's there as well. So Murphy's lost another position as Ashnoom's gone past him. He's got Deluvian right in his tail as well. So we didn't see any impact on Murphy's car, but he could well have sustained some damage that we didn't see. Yeah,
maybe his mindset is also a little bit off, because normally after such a mistake you're either very angry at yourself or maybe a little bit disappointed, and yeah, maybe he's not fully concentrated now.
Good will be sitting similar times those around him at the moment, whereas we saw him right with lead space. He's a little bit wide on turn 1. He's going to give Deluvian a run. He jumps to the inside then as they're going to come through the sweeping turn 2. And Deluvian is staying out there. Deluvian's having it. Whoa! Oh, that's a back marker, beg your pardon. So I thought that was a move for a position there. That's a back marker that was a little bit unfortunate in when they caught him. But nothing you can really do about that. Another person in the pit. It's Dutch-tastic that's brought the D'Ambreville coloured car in. So, there's someone wandering a bit wide on the last turn. We can see there in the background. There's still plenty of action going on. We're not even halfway through this race at the moment. Eladir still trying to keep up with Steve ahead. Of course, this three-way battle here, the Diluvian is on the back of. That's Ashnoon. So Murphy did gain that 6th position back.
Yeah.
And Ashnoon seems to be a bit out of kilter. He's not had a good run through first. And turn 8, that's going to put Diluvian on the inside for Rins.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a brave move.
Yeah, too wide through there is quite a risky move, but it went well.
He's got it done.
Yeah, and he's also got a little bit of a gap, so he should be safe for first corner Castrol Edge.
We will see. Yeah, he did indeed get a decent amount of breathing space there. Ashton, of course, still right there, but not able to throw it on the inside for turn 1. There is Dutch-tastic just coming out of the pits then. That's 24th for him. So,
but yeah, currently Stu was, the last 2 laps was quite a bit faster than Puff Pirate, so he's closing the gap a little bit. But yeah, problem is it's only 7 laps remaining and still the gap is about 3 seconds, so plenty of work to do for him.
True, but we've seen how easy it is to make a mistake around this particular circuit. It's been displayed for us quite handily by a few drivers, and already Murphy has refound his pace. He's getting onto the back of Eladir, so he's really broken free. It's already a second between himself and Diluvian. As Ash. Yeah, Ash is right the way down there. Oh, Ash has gone in for a win. Oh no, we saw Ashton was right with.
Yeah, he was with that group with Diluvian and Murphy, but now
he was. He's got no front wing, so oh dear, he's had an argument with the wall and lost on that one as Darkside is bringing his car in. His race has not gone well. So that is then a battle for 6 positions. Diluvian, Murphy and Eladir in 5th position. Look at that. Murphy is right on board. That is what it looks like from Murphy's perspective. Through Castrol Edge now into turn 2. And he's getting the slipstream, which again is very effective in these cars. Is he going to have a look on the inside of Remus?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Can he slow it down? He does. He leaves room on the outside as well. Very nicely done by Diluvian. That's a lapped car we see there in the D'Ambreville colours. Because Ashneam has got his car back into the pits. He'll be there a while.
That was actually Murphy overtaking Eladir. He was doing the brave move.
Did I say that wrong? Oh dear. Apologies for that. So yeah, that was Murphy then getting up into 5th position. Of course, this is where the back markers are going to be very, very careful. Oh, like so.
I think that was a back marker.
It was indeed a back marker. Jagger P was. So again, showing how easy it is to lose these cars, lose the tail of these particular monstrously horse-powered cars. As Diluvian is now right with Eladir. That's a battle for 6th position forming. Steve is actually getting close to the back of Manu as well. He's almost pushing him to the last turn. And Steve's had a great run on the edge of the turn. The Red Bull Mobile, he's actually got the move done before the braking zone. So that demotes Manu out of the podium position.
Yeah, does Manu have maybe damage, or did he forget to use DRS because he was extremely slow? And I have to say, I'm really impressed by Steve G. Normally he says he hates open wheel cars. He normally likes to rely on mechanical grip and not on aerodynamic, on downforce, but it seems like he seems quite comfortable in the car, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, Manu's just lost another position. Murphy stormed through as well, so yeah, Manu's just got out of his rhythm a little bit, and with the cars so closely condensed, it's difficult to regain. You need, sometimes some drivers need a bit of time to get back into the rhythm, get the mind settled down, and just start to re-find where the grip is again. And with everybody so close, it's often very difficult to do that. So I'm wondering about. Again, Manu's off. He's pushed too hard.
I think he has.
He's got to have damage, surely.
Yeah, I think he has damage to his front wing, because going slow on the straight, having no turn in the corners, that's kind of. That seems connected.
He's not in. He's not coming in though.
No. Yeah, I think maybe he thinks just 6 more laps. I can hold through. It's not about. I mean, when you're risking it in the season, this is probably the best time to do it, because at no point you can risk a lot. It's just about getting used to the car and getting in a rhythm for the season.
Absolutely. Then Murphy is on the back of Steve. Then he's going to have a look on the inside of Remus again. Yes, he does. Can he slow it down yet again? That seems to be his manoeuvre of choice.
Yeah,
he has
definitely.
That's brilliantly done yet again.
I think I should call Didi Mateschitz and ask him to rename the corner in Murphy's corner instead of Remus.
Elodie is now right with Manu, so that damage on that Red D'Ambreville car is really slowing him down. He was a good 2 seconds slower than Steve last time round was Manu. So yeah, that is hurting the progress of the red car. Elodie was looking good to try and attack. Looks like Manu found a bit more pace. And away they go once again. So we'll see if Elodie is able to keep the pressure on. Steve is still with Murphy, but I would imagine it's going to be quite difficult for the Panasonic livery car to keep up. Whoops, he got one was a little bit wide at Rint. But on his way though. Murphy then, what might have been, had it not been for that one spin, he finds himself 18 seconds off the lead that is being occupied by this man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's probably thinking like, get the bad race out of the way right away when it doesn't count.
True.
And so
in.
it could be far worse, but yeah, Diluvian is in this. Quite surprising. I mean, as far as I know, the mandatory pit stop is only for the feature race, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And Manu has indeed lost that 5th position to Elodie.
Yeah, the quick Swiss got by Manu, so Elodie now in P5.
Yeah, that is not gone well for him. There's a bit of a gaggle of cars here. There's Davey. We haven't seen him all race long pretty much. He's in 11th. He's got No You ahead of him. No You in the blue car, but right ahead is Gosku and Nada side by side. There's a battle for 8th position. Gosku just noses ahead. Can he keep it on the track? Just about. But the Red D'Ambreville car just hanging on to that 8th position. And Gosku slotting back in, but that's No You in the blue car. Wow, that was very, very deep into turn 6, into Pirelli. That was could have been quite a big incident there, but managed it. Whoa! Me. No You, he's really wanting to get on with it. It looks like he had a fair more bit of pace than Gosku did through that section, but couldn't utilise it as Gosku was right in the way.
Running a little bit wide, both of them. That's not what the stewards like to see.
Nope. And Davey's not too far behind No You either. It does look like Gosku is shaping up for a move on Nada. We're on lap 12, 4 to go. So they are running out of time to make an improvement, but as we like to see in the commentary box, lots of action throughout the field.
Yeah, currently a really great race. And yeah, at the front, not much movement, so...
Oh! That was a huge impact. That was No You. Slamming into the side of Gosku. He's just a little too eager to get past.
That was definitely too overmotivated.
Yeah, there's too much pace going on into Remus. Slams into the side of Gosku, as of course allowed the grey and yellow car to resume in 10th position, but that has completely broken up the particular gap. There will be damage on them.
Definitely, I think.
So that is. They're only going to have a race with themselves, pretty much. Manu is still trying to hang on to the back of Elodie, but is losing time lap on lap. Category is the next car down in position, so he's about 3.2 seconds down. And Manu should just be able to hang on for that 6th position. The front 10 are pretty much all spaced out. Puff Pirate is he's losing time a little bit to TX3 Storm, TX3 Stew, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, TX3 Storm was yesterday.
yeah, completely different race. But yeah, I mean, he's not losing pace enough that would bring TX3. I nearly did it again. TX3 Stew into the frame. So Puff Pirate is a very experienced hand, a regular race winner in RSR, a champion through and through. So he can just afford to back off a bit. There is Stu. He's actually the lead of those two cars. We have the couple of one behind is a back marker.
Yeah, we have 2 more laps to go, so I don't think anything will happen anymore in the lead pack.
Gosku and No You still having their battle. No You is back ahead of Gosku now. Assumingly that was done a bit more cleanly. Yeah, I mean, they're in the 23, so they're carrying a lot of damage. No point in them pitting now. Oh, that's one of the D'Ambrivilles.
That was one red car off. Would be interesting who that was, but
not a clue.
It wasn't Manu. Manu is still on P6, so maybe it was Touchtastic.
Oh, you have an amazing memory for remembering who's in what car. I would say it was, because again he's wandered off wide at that very section. So, Cataclysm has actually caught up to Manu.
Yeah, I think that was a leper there. Yeah.
That one is. You're right there. But now Cataclysm is within a second of Manu. That was 3.2 2 laps ago. So Cataclysm has caught him. He caught nearly 2 seconds in the last lap alone.
Yeah, and he looks very racy, locking tires into Rauch corner. And yeah, now a lot of traffic. That is. Yeah.
Oh, that's one way to get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's effective with a little bit overkill.
Exactly.
Then coming through fourth, turn 7, turn 8, onto the straight then towards Rins. I know I can't roll the R's properly. You'll have to forgive me.
That's the problem. And we have when the cars are now coming to start-finish straight, they will see the white flag signaling the final lap.
Hopefully that back mark is not going to hold Manu up.
Yeah, I think he's actually providing slipstream, so maybe he's saving Manu's life. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Oh, that's very big. Cataclysm only just hanging on to the car as they now come through. They've been through Gastronaut. Oh,
that was quite a brave move. That was a brave move, but he's now coming to the outside, blocking the inside. And
he feels the need to defend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. Oh, Manu is doing the counter move. Now on the inside, he has now the advantage going down Schönberg into Rauch.
And what a great comeback then from Manu.
And now the braking here is very tricky, going downhill, and a little bit of lockup from Cataclysm, but he's going around the outside. Oh, and yeah, we have Puff Parrot in the finish, winning. But I think we have to go back to the battle.
No, not that one. That one.
Now side by side through the former Gerhard Berger corner, now through former Niki Lauda corner. But they got renamed because of new sponsors.
Ah, okay. I don't have that on my map.
Yeah, that's.
Cataclysm's gonna have a look at the inside of 9, and he chooses not to do it.
I think Manu is through. Yeah, he's through.
What a great defense there by Manu to hang on to 5th position. Puff Pirate, Steve G, and Eladir have the first 4 spots. And Manu just manages to hold on for 5th against Cataclysm. That was a brilliant run there. Nado is going to take 7th. He was about 9 seconds behind that particular battle. He's just holding off Davey in the black car behind for 8th and for 7th and 8th rather. There was no you we saw fighting with Gosku earlier. He comes across the line in 9. There's Gosku in 10. Unstoppable Paul is still going. He then crosses the line for 11th position. There is a Crispy Cross. We didn't see him pretty much at all due to the action up front. Hopefully we'll have a chance to see more of our drivers in the sprint race. There's Invincible. It comes across the line in 13th place. But Murphy has brought his car into the... Has he run out of fuel? He's run out of fuel.
Yeah, this one. I was already thinking, like...
oh, no.
Why is Elodie in 4th? I mean, he was in 5th before, but yeah, that's
what a shame.
From bad to worse. But yeah, awesome first race, I would say.
Well. What a great race indeed.
Yeah.
Fastest lap was actually by TX3 Stu, but it was not enough to close down Puff Pirate. So Puff Pirate taking the win in the sprint race. TX3 Stu second, Steve G third, Eladir 4, Manu 5, Cataclysm 6, Nada 7, Davey 8, No You 9, and Gosku rounds out the top 10. It's going to be a short break then.
Yeah.
Between now and the feature race, we'll hopefully be able to catch. Maybe we'll catch a word with Puff Parrot.
Yeah, I think we have to skip this time because I realized I forgot to turn up my graphics setting from normally my triple screen setting. So sorry for the quite shitty graphics. But so we will go quickly into a short commercial break, and we will be right back with even better video quality. So see you in a bit. So, welcome back, guys. It was an awesome race we have seen. Definitely a lot to expect for a second race.
Yep, it's 31 laps this time around, so exactly as Wayfarer said earlier, twice the length of the sprint race. We saw quite a lot going on, and this time hopefully we'll get a chance to go through the whole field and give everybody a bit of airtime. But with how busy this track can be with this many cars, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, there won't be this many in the actual season itself. It's 26.
Yeah, 26 it is.
My brain went blank then. Yeah, so 26 in the actual season, so the races won't be quite as hectic as we're seeing this time. But even still, it's giving us a lot to talk about and some incredible racing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think with 26 cars, it's going to be a little bit more calm and collected, especially at the beginning, I think. And yeah, you have to say it. First turn at Red Bull Ring, maybe going even 4 wide into there. It can be quite tricky, especially in open wheelers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as was displayed by quite a few drivers, it's quite easy to get crossed up, quite easy to spin and end up facing the wrong way, as Murphy rather showed us. Hopefully this time he doesn't misjudge his fuel and end up rolling down the pit lane. We'll see then. We'll get the second qualifying session underway for the feature race. Having a reverse grid with this many cars in
would be carnage. It would be
overkill.
Yeah. And I think a lot of top guys would be kind of revolting that they will be punished quite a lot after the first race.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much to ask. So, new qualifying session will get underway shortly when all the drivers have confirmed that they are back from their break. We'll then get this session underway and should be good. We'll see if anybody can challenge the might of Puff Pirate into race number 2.
Yeah, I think we definitely saw a few people like Stu and Murphy. They have definitely the pace to challenge Puff Pirate. And I was also surprised, or it was nice to see a comeback of Eladir. I mean, there are already some teams there, and Eladir will be the teammate of Puff Pirate, so he was definitely, I think, capitalizing on Puff Pirate's setup experience. And yeah, Eladir normally is always he was always strong in high downforce cars, so I think he was definitely cheering when he saw the announcement with this car this season.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I think we weren't. I don't think we had the audio running at that particular point, but this is quite a magic series for me to commentate on, as it was the very first thing I commentated on 2 years ago. Was these Formula Renaults, and it was won by that man, Manu. The race and the championship was run by him in that red Debreville colour as well. So this would be quite nice for me to take on these things again, and on the very man that won the very first championship I was involved with. Out they come then, another 10 minutes to see who's going to start from the front row. Of course, Puff Pirate started from row 2. He was in third for the first race, so there are those that can certainly match and possibly even beat his single lap pace, and we will see then if that translates into a race win for somebody else. Here comes another driver we didn't really see, Nakor, coming out of the pits. Also, a lot of people will be coming out at once. You can again bring up the map, you can just see a almost constant stream of cars. We will then see who is able to get on with the job as possible. Whoops, Nakor wandering a little bit wide.
It's not looking good.
Do you prefer to have the map up? Would you prefer that map to stay there, or should we have that off as you're the broadcaster?
I think we can have that off. It's more distracting me, and I actually have track map on my second screen.
It's not a particularly complicated circuit, so
yeah, that's also
fine.
true.
Most people out now. There's only 5 people still in the pits, being Eugene. Oops, that's someone going the wrong way out of the pit box there. That's not how you do that. Was that it was Cataglimpse. Doing a bit of a rage there and going the wrong way out of the pit lane. Diluvian up to second with a 1:16.284. Very nice. Stu, the only man in the 15s with a 1:15.411. That's a very impressive time. 8/10 to the good of Diluvian at the moment. No you, a decent qualifying position for him in 6th position. He's in the pits. 1:17.043. Manu is on circuit as well, coming through Pirelli. And this is where Puff Pirate has been struggling a bit, as we have seen through Worth. Then turn 8 towards Rindt. Does the Lord of RSR improve? 1:17.022 in 5th position, and he's gone very wide out. Has somebody behind him. I wonder if that's Eladir. No, it's not. Is that Puff Pirate then that's behind him?
No.
Nope.
It's with 2 splits mixed together. We have more than 2 cars with the same liveries, so it's a little bit confusing for us.
Yeah, so Manu did not improve then. He remains in 5th with that 17.0.
Currently quite big gaps at the front. Stu 8, nearly 9/10. Okay, now Diluvian is within 3 tenths. Probably looks better.
Diluvian's just gone up 15.7 and has gone off the road. There's still just over 4 minutes to go of the session. Taudu is in 3rd, 1:16.4. He's gone back to the pits and is now back out. Yeah, Murphy's jumped up to 3rd, so he did decide to come out and get a time on the board. 1:16.2. There is still time for him to find. He's got a lovely clear track ahead of him, so let's follow him through his lap. He hopefully won't. Hopefully we won't commentator curse him as we magically seem to disrupt Puff Pirate. So through Remus then, on that long back straight, streaming towards turn 4 of Roush. Heavy on the brakes. On the slowest turn in the entire circuit. Through 5 into Pirelli, turn 6. Keeps the car nice and settled, takes his time through that apex. Lets it wander a little bit over to the right hand side, then through 4th of turn 7, then the fast right hander of turn 8. Short straight over the crest, then towards Rindt, turn 9. Down a gear, catches the apex quite nicely, keeps it within the white lines, then turn 10, doesn't quite catch the apex there, streams towards the line. Does he improve? He actually gets knocked down to 4th, but he gets the pole time. 1:53.97 by 14 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, he's going back, and I think he's planning one more attempt.
Puff Pirate did improve. 1:16.052 for the Sherifitza car. So did manage to make an improvement, but currently will be starting 4th. And there is somebody in the same livery. We know Eladir runs that one. But actually, we can see the 3 cars in that same livery on that straight.
Yeah, but I think that could be already quite costly for Puff Pirate if he has to start in the 2nd row. Because
could well be.
I mean, if Murphy has again a start like in the first race, but this time without a mistake, yeah, he's probably going to be hard to catch.
Through turn 8. He's still pressing on. How much fuel has he got on board? Oh, it's going to be tight if he wants to do another one. 1.7 meters.
I think that's going to be his last one. I've heard that the amount of fuel you need for a lap is about 3 liters. So.
Oh wow! He jumped up to 3rd, 1:15.6.
Yeah, he's supporting.
He used 0.7 of a litre on that straight alone. So that is his day done. He will not have time to come out to do another lap. He will start from the 2nd row again. He's going to come out anyway.
Yeah, maybe he's trying.
No,
no, it's not enough.
It's not enough. I mean, it's 1:15 now, and he's not off the pit lane limiter. So just coming out for a quick bit of a practice, and why not? So Stu's so close. Actually, Stu's completing a lap. Does he improve? He does not, but he is on a timed lap, and he's got traffic ahead of him. It's not going to help him try and improve. Diluvian. Oh, that's a way to try and rotate the car, get the tail to snap like that. It's quite dangerous to do that in these cars. I suspect he may not have shut the DRS quite as. I mind you, the DRS was shut on braking, so no.
Yeah, it shuts, but maybe it has a little bit of a delay, and maybe he was just too hard on the throttle initially. Too hard on the brakes,
or he
sorry.
opened it too early, is probably what it more likely is, because he can open it at any moment. So he was probably a little bit too eager to get the DRS open. Puff Pirate's gone back to the pits. He will not improve then. Diluvian is coming around again a little bit wide on the exit of turn 7. Now towards Rins. 1:15.719, 3/10 off the top spot. Through 9 and into 10. Let us see, does he improve? He's too wide on that last turn.
That was too. I think he was too aggressive there on DRS. Probably tried to open DRS already in the middle of the final corner, but I think he has done the Hamilton and still has one more lap. Seems like he has one more lap.
So yeah, you're quite right. So he only just beat the flag, so he is on his turn. As you say, Murphy is coming around the last turn. Does he improve from the already impressive pole time? 15.397. He does not improve, so he's still on pole. Diluvian's backed out of it, so that is his day done. Is Townsend on a lap? No. Is Manu's jumped up to 5th, 1:16.019. So that is the third row then for Manu. Cataclysm is ghosted, so he will not improve. It's Eladir, he is pressing on.
Yeah.
Through turn 8. Oh, he looks very loose though. That car just not wanting to.
Yeah, I think he had DRS open, because normally you can drive with DRS open through that turn. Maybe it was a bit too hard pushing.
Could well be.
Could be an improvement.
1:16.978. Does he improve?
Yeah, but not for position.
Yeah, no, doesn't time in not position. 1:16.713 remains in 8th position. Is anyone else still out there? James is stopped. Darkside is under AI control, so he won't be improving. V-Tonic is also under AI control. The Breeze is ghosted, so he will not improve then. So that is qualifying sorted, and Murphy again starts from the front.
Yeah, but I mean, we have seen it in race 1. Maybe pole position isn't the advantage that you normally have on other tracks. I mean,
yeah,
especially when Stu again gets that good start like in race 1 in the sprint race. I think Murphy's going to have a hard time.
It's going to be very difficult, but there he is, Murphy taking row 1 with Stu. Puff Pirate, Diluvian take row 2, Manu and Tauji 3, Cataclysm and Eladir row 4, Drux up into the top 10 this time with Steve G on row 5, No You and Ashnoon row 6, Unstoppable Nada row 7, Dutch-tastic Invisible row 8, Eugene Gaikin and Copperfist in row 9, Crispy Cross and Gosku in 19th and 20th row 10, Khalib and Davey take row 11. Where did that put us? Put us down here. So there is James right the way down there in 23rd, and 24th is Darkside, that's row 12. V-Sonic and Meerkat taking row 13. Jacob P and Nakor, jumped and we can see them, taking at row 14. Two Scoops and the Breeze in row 15, and Freak Superman and Thomas Sikora rounding out the field.
Yeah, now again the drivers have 2 minutes time to get themselves ready, adjust pit strategies, adjust the setup, and hopefully this time Murphy puts in enough fuel.
Yes.
But if he realizes he doesn't have enough fuel, it wouldn't be that tragic like in first race, because we have now a mandatory pit stop. You have to change all 4 tires during the mandatory pit stop, and that pit stop has to be followed by 1 full lap on the track. So if he really needs, he can do a splash and dash during that pit stop.
Yep. I mean, they can't take fuel and change tyres at the same time, so if they are looking to take on fuel, that can't be done alongside the tyres. It has to be done in the same pit stop, but not at the very same time, so one has to happen before the other. So that's, again, something that these guys have to bear in mind if they want to try and get the pit stop out of the way early, but I don't think these cars can take enough fuel to do 30 laps at absolutely full pelt. So,
I think it might be right on the edge.
Very, very close.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
maybe with a bit of saving.
Anyway. Yeah, yeah. which no driver wants to do. We spectators don't want to see it.
Maybe we have a secret Scott Dixon here in the grid. I mean, Scott Dixon is the master of being fast and saving fuel. So
very true.
Yeah, we will see at the end of the race, I think, if we have a Scott Dixon in here. But yeah, no, drivers are getting ready, getting the refs up.
Let's have a look from fourth place to Luvian. It looks like the inside line's got the advantage, and away they go then. There's a good time, but Stu's had an absolutely storming start. He's shot through into the lead well before they get to the race. So Deluvian's actually gone ahead of Puff Pirate. Now we can switch to the off-board. That's Manny that's one but slightly wide. Oh, massive problem behind. We saw one of the Demerville cars flying off into the dust.
Yeah, classic turn one at Red Bull Ring. But
yeah,
close battle in the front.
Absolutely, Murphy and Stu have swapped position. Murphy back into the lead. Stu now jumping to the outside on the way down to turn 4. Can he do anything about it? Puff Pirate back up to third. Manny right there in fourth.
He's doing it. That will be close. Oh, a little bit of contact. But
very, very close indeed.
Very brave move.
Manny's got a great inside seam for that particular battle. There's Puff Pirate looking at the inside of turn 6. He has managed to get the move done. He's up into second. Very cleanly done. Murphy's lost another position. And so that puts Murphy straight on to pressuring Stu to Manu a little bit wide. Coming through turn 7, but manages to hold it. So all fairly clean up front. And there you see Deluvian is keeping the pressure on the Red Demerville car 14 of Manu. He's wondered why he's going to give Deluvian a run through turn 10. And Manu's gone very, very wide to avoid impact. Deluvian was actually very tight to the inside line, but doesn't manage to make the move stick.
But, okay, Deluvian is not I thought he's trying the move, but Manu again wide.
Oh, Manu again. Yeah, he's 1 to 2 wide.
I'm not sure, but it kind of seems like that's his setup is a bit too understeery anyway, and then with damage that he had in the first race, he was even struggling more, but it seems again like he's quick, but he's struggling a bit.
Yeah, he's certainly struggling early on as Deluvian has gone up into that 4th position with, that is Steve G. That's not too far behind either. Manny looking like he could shape up for a move on the inside. Oh no, he's gone very deep again into turn 4, into Roush. He's riding along the rumble strip. Just manages to keep it out of the dust. We've got 4 people in the pits. V-Sonic, Jacob P has come in. 2 Scoops is in, along with Eugene Geiken.
Yeah, and we have a car off. That's the breeze.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting out of the way. But oh, look at how much right-hand lock he's having to put in to try and keep the car straight.
Yeah,
so
that's not looking good.
That's pretty terminal then for the breeze. We have already lost 3 cars from the race. We're down to 29 drivers. So it's not gone well for a few people. We saw some fly off the road very early on, but Stu already leads Puff Pirate by 2.5 seconds. Puff Pirate is defending from Murphy, which as Murphy has proven, he's got a lot of pace in that car as Cataglin brings his car in, along with Thomas Sikora as well. So some people getting their pit stops out of the way early.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get out of the traffic and then click some clean laps.
That's a fair strategy. Nada brings his car in. The downside of doing that is the fact that if you do incur damage, you will have to pit again.
Yeah, and you can't use if you're doing the pit stop more towards the midway point of the race, you are going to have 2 sets of kind of equally worn tires, and like that you are pitting with new tires and then use the other set of tires for the whole race, which is going to be definitely a disadvantage towards the end of the race.
Manu keeping the pressure on Deluvian, although he's falling a little bit back. Deluvian is chasing after Murphy. Murphy's actually fallen off the back of Puff Pirate a little bit. He's got Deluvian within 3/10. Deluvian's having a good old run in this particular race. Didn't have such a good run in the sprint race, but he's right up there now, chasing the pole man. Didn't get as good a run out of turn 10 as Murphy did, so it's going to cost him a little bit of time. Puff Pirate is there as well. You can see 2 cars out, so Puff Pirate hasn't gotten too far down the road.
Yeah, but
people are picking up a bit of slipstream from the back marker.
Yeah, exactly. There's again a lapper in the way, but yeah, making a lot of space, so the cars don't lose any speed there. But yeah, it kind of seems like Stu is running away.
Yeah, he's got 4 seconds to the good now.
Yeah, and he was the last time around. He was over a second quicker than Puff Pirate.
Wow.
That is quite a statement.
Yeah, that's not something you hear very often, and Diluvian is really keeping Murphy honest as they come through 4, 5, now through 6. Not much separation, only barely over 2:10 separates these two. They're already 2 seconds ahead of Manu. So Manu is having trouble as beg your pardon, that's Davey that's brought his car in. That's the Breeze's car you can see there. We saw him having to put on way too much opposite lock with no wing on his car. That is the view from Diluvian through turn 10. That's the back markers getting well actually out of the way. Murphy didn't have a good run on that turn 10. This could be an opportunity then for Diluvian. Is he going to have a think about it into turn 1? He looks, but doesn't make the move. Or he gets very close to the back of Murphy's car.
To be honest, I think outbraking Murphy is going to be quite hard. I mean, what do we have seen in race 1? He's extremely late on the brakes. So that could be quite a challenge.
It is, but this is for the last of the podium spots. Of course, they have got a long way to go. We're only on lap 5 of 31, so it is a long way to go. But racing drivers are what they are. They will push all the time they possibly can as Dutch Tastic brings his car in very slowly. He hasn't run out of fuel, has he? No, he's got a lot of fuel on board, so I wonder if he's already been in or he's just getting his pit stop out of the way.
Yeah, maybe he was looking for his pit crew. That could be also possible.
Could be.
That he wasn't sure if the pit crew is already there or not, so a little bit of confusion.
Diluvian still with Murphy. Then Manu has fallen off the back of this particular battle to the tune of 2 seconds. Let's have a quick run through who is where. Stu leads the race in the green car. That's one of the Denvervilles. Back marker ahead of him. They should be getting out of the way pretty quickly. 4 seconds now is Puff Pirate slightly down the road. Though Puff Pirate gained a couple of 1.5 tenths last time around. Murphy still has a Diluvian for company in third. There is Manu. He's losing pace. He's gained maybe 0.5 tenth on Diluvian last time around, but he is struggling in his car at the moment. Steve G in the Panasonic livery car in 6th position. Eladir in the Sherifitza yellow marked car in 7th position. Copper Piston, didn't see him pretty much at all in the Fanatec car last race. He is in 8th. Ashnoon, did see him briefly last time out. Gosku is there with Invincible side by side as they are streaming on down towards turn 4. Who's going to have this one? Gosku's got the inside line, but Invincible's just nosed ahead. He's going to do an outside maneuver.
Whoa, that was quite close.
That was very close indeed. Gosku's got a decent drive.
But now Invincible has the advantage. On the inside.
Brilliant driving by the pair of them. Still no contact between the two. That is so close. Invincible then having the next inside line. He's going to keep hold of the position. Nicely driven by both of them.
That was very nice. That is what RSR is about. Nice and clean driving. And yeah, Gosku wanted to have a look, but Invincible now running wide, so that could be the chance now going to start finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fair move. Invincible was kind of getting an advantage from running wide, so he was making space.
Yeah, he pretty much let that one go.
Yeah.
A noble move there by Invincible. He knew he was potentially gaining an advantage and let the position go. There is No Yi in 12th position. Staring at the back of Invincible now as Crispy Cross brings his car into the pits as well. From 18th position. Khalid in 13th, 4 seconds down from No You. There is Darkside with Taoju for company there in 14th position.
Yeah, I think that's now already the group that was already in the pits. I think so.
It will be. Unstoppable is 1.5 down from this particular battle. Taoju getting a decent slipstream. He's having a look on the inside of 4.
Oh, he's having a look.
Here we go again. This is exactly what we've just seen. Still side by side, and that is Darkside hanging on in the position. He's going to have the inside line then for next. No, he'd let someone go.
He's backing off.
Gone through. Yeah, I think exactly as you say, Darkside backed out of that one. Didn't fancy the 2 wide through that particular turn.
Yeah, he was probably like, yeah, it's early in the race. He's quicker than me. maybe it's hurting us both more than we gain from battling. So maybe Dax is thinking more towards the end of the race.
Absolutely. There is Unstoppable. That's a back marker in between the pair of them. Elodie and Manu are getting close together as well. That's a battle for 5, 6 and 7. Manu is with Steve G, so he's actually lost that 5th place to Steve. There is the Panasonic car that's now ahead of the Denverville. So Manu his pace is just not there that we saw earlier. Stu, however, is really storming on. 16.4 for Stu at the front, 18.0 for Puff. So I would imagine that's probably traffic related.
Yeah.
As you can quite easily see again, if we bring up the map, the traffic is everywhere. So it's pretty impossible to get a clean bit of track. And just unfortunately, we have just lost another driver from the race. I'm not entirely sure who. Who else did we see? We were looking at Darkside. He's still with. He's got Unstoppable right with him. That is battle for 15th position, which Unstoppable currently has. There is James L91. Is that was someone off the road? Elodie has brought his car in from 7th position.
Yeah, quite an early stop, so he's maybe trying the undercut.
Yeah, he's not going to. Oh, he's low on fuel.
He's low.
So he's a low.
Yeah, don't know what he's doing.
He went for a light fuel load to start with, so he had no choice. He had to bring it in now. Cataclysm in 18th place. It's quite a way down from James. It's about James and Darkside. Darkside and Tauju have brought their cars in at the same time. That's why there's swapping going on there. So you're heavy on fuel. Darkside he's got some fuel, but you would assume he's going to take some on unless he's looking to come in again, which I would imagine he won't. Manu and Steve are still battling for. I know I'm jumping around the field a lot. Oh wow, that's Manu almost pushing Steve through turns 7 and 8. So whether Steve has made a mistake and they were struggling to regain his momentum, we don't entirely know. No one coming in, neither of these two coming into the pits at the moment. Oh, Manu running a little wide on the edge of the line.
Again a bit wide. That lost him a bit of time.
Deluvian and Murphy are fairly close together as well, so a battle then for 3rd could well be brewing. As they carry on their merry way. Who else were we looking at? So we saw Cataclysm now in 16th. There is Thomas Sakura in 17th then. Doing a bit down from Cataclysm, about 4 seconds ahead of Jacob B. So a little bit lonely existence down there for those guys. Position-wise, there is Taudu. That, I think, is Murphy just coming through.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So that was why you saw Taudu just fall off the road a little bit as Kalou brings his car in.
And that is what you definitely don't want when you're going for the undercut, is that you get lapped when you come out of the pit. So you have to make way. You don't gain the time that you actually want to do with the undercut. So you have to make way, and which is costing you more time than staying out. So that's probably strategy going wrong a bit for that, guys.
There's Dutch-tastic, 22nd position. There's a No You brought his car in as well. Darkside 21st after his pit stop, and that's those two fighting for that 21st spot. Dutch-tastic flying through on the inside of turn 9. That was quite a nice move. I think Sai let that one go. It seems Sai's not entirely at ease with his car, because we've seen him back out of a few situations a few times now. Crispy Cross 21st, right behind Darkside. Of course, they've just overtaken Khalib and Know You in the pits. Eugene Gaikin is pressing on. He will gain those 2 positions up to 22nd. Gosku is in from 10th as well, so there's another pit stop served. Manu is still chasing Steve G, so Manu's finding his feet again, it would seem.
Yeah, it seems like he's getting more and more comfortable with the car now. And
it could be that he prefers the car lighter, because
I would guess that, because probably
what a move by Manu!
Yeah, nice run the outside. That was a really nice move.
What a great move! Yeah, such a great drive out of turn 4, out of Roush, and just blasted past Steve G in the Panasonic car as if he was standing still. That was a great move there, around the outside of turn 6, and gained that 5th position. But
yeah,
maybe
that's...
he just prefers the car a bit lighter, exactly as we were saying, as he has burnt some fuel off. Still got a lot of fuel on board, but considerably less than he started with. Now that 10 laps have gone, a third of the distance covered, and Steve G's having a crack at him again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the inside. Yeah, he's leaving room, so maybe couldn't get the drive out, but he's still in the advantage. Now Mano trying to get through the slipstream, and now Steve has to block the inside, which he's not doing surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Steve G didn't try and defend the inside line. He realised Manu had gone for the move and didn't then close him off too late. But oh, that's an advertising hoarding going flying into the road. But Manu still finds himself behind Steve G, so the move didn't quite stick. Now coming into turns 4 and 5 again. This is where Manu was very strong last time out, doesn't? And again,
yeah, he's trying it again. On the outside.
That's a great effort if he can do it. Could be that Manu's running a bit more downforce. He's more confident on the risky bit.
I think so. He looks really good in the infield.
Murphy's in. Our pole man has brought his car in on the end of lap 11. Yeah, I think that is where we're seeing these two jostling for position so much. Manu just got the downforce he needs in the corners to do those impressive outside manoeuvres. And Steve can then just blast past him on the straights.
Yeah, again, but Manu's going defensive. Oh, that was two defensive moves. That's not very gentlemanlike.
I think it was returning to the inside line, but that could have been a little bit. That could have gone quite nasty, but yeah. Steve saw what was going on there. But Manu remains ahead of CG at the moment as they come through Remus. This could be where Steve G has an opportunity, but of course, it's in this next section that the d'Ambreville car's been that much stronger.
And the gap is growing a bit. I think he didn't get quite the run out of Remus.
Could well be. And remains in that 5th position. Of course, they gained 4th because of Murphy. Murphy was a pretty quick stop. That is indeed invincible in the Fanatec car, right on Murphy's case.
And we have Puff Pirate in the pits.
Yeah, in he comes. And plenty of fuel on board.
I think he's going with tires only.
It would seem so. 16.9 on the previous lap, so
looks quite. There's no gasman there, so I assume it's a 4-tire stop.
Yeah, the animations from our perspective don't appear correct.
Okay.
As that's Jacob P in the background, coming in from, I think it was 17th position he was coming in from. So again, a planned stop for him, we would assume, yeah, 65 litres, so no fuel needed for him. Puff Pirate back on his way.
Let's see where he comes out.
You're on the pit lane limiter. It feels like what...
yeah, but
you have
to be extremely careful coming out of the pit exit, because that arm cup area is very dangerous on cold tires.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's you feel like you're on the pit lane limiter for a very long time, so it's very easy to drop that too early. As Ashnoon is now on the back of Copper Piston. They've now, of course, been elevated up a few spots courtesy of pit stops. Steve is still trying to stay in touch with Manu, but Manu gained 8/10 on Steve last time around, so that gap is pretty big now between the pair of them.
Stu's still doing alien lap times of 1:16.3 the last time around. He's
he's got to be in soon.
Yeah,
got to be in this time indeed.
I think he's going to come in this time. Yeah, with 3 liters. Don't think he's going to make another one.
No, as much as he may be good at fuel saving, I don't think he's that good at fuel saving.
No,
that would be pushing it a little bit far.
That would be Alexander Rossi Indy 500 2016 level of fuel saving.
Copper Piston brings his car in from 6th position. That's Puff Pirate, a couple of pistons there. So, and he's got plenty of fuel on as well.
But yeah, it's interesting to see different approaches to strategy. Some like to go with full fuel the whole race, some like to refuel. Will be interesting how that plays out, but that could explain why Stu was that crazy fast in the beginning.
It's been godlike fast, yeah, absolutely. But in comes our race leader then.
He has dropped a lot of time, because I think the pit entry or the pit limiter line is a little bit later than he actually braked, so he lost valuable time there.
I was going to hand Deluvian the lead there. There he is. Fair amount of back markers already ahead. Manu is still hanging on in there as well. Manu is a long way down though from the now race leader Deluvian.
Yeah, but he dropped Steve a little bit. Steve now 2 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Nearly 3 seconds now. So Steve is struggling a bit, I think. And
Absolutely.
we are now, after this lap, we are past the halfway point of the race, and let's.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like we just started the sprint race.
Yeah, that's absolutely flown by. Stu then comes out in 4th position. Steve, Manu, and Deluvian ahead. They'll have to serve their pit stops. Assumingly, then he's got only 50 litres.
Yeah, I think that should be enough.
Well, we hope for his sake that it is.
When I did a little bit of driving for the event to kind of have an idea how the car feels and everything, I got a setup for the sprint race which featured 44 liters of fuel for 15 laps, so I think he should be good.
That should be right. So he's got a little bit spare. That's Ashnu. I wonder if he was running light on fuel there, but I think he made a mistake last lap around. That's Pat Pirate already ahead of him, and he is carrying on his merry way. Gosku and Cataclysm are fairly close together as well, as Deluvian has brought his car in. So yeah, he has 7 litres there. If he could have gone on another one, but he's decided to bring his car in as well. And is that Khalid already behind? It is indeed. So that was race leader and 24th bringing their car in. Manu has chosen to continue. How much has he got? He's got 52 litres. He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, I think he's trying the more overcut approach.
Yeah, but he's starting to really set some good lap times. 17.8. And what is he like for traffic? Let's bring up the map. He's got a few cars ahead, but it's not immediately ahead of him.
It's not looking too bad. I mean, my suggestion now would be stay out as long until he catches the traffic and then go into the pits, I think. Then he could gain quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty decent strategy there. We will see what he does. Manu, of course, a long-time veteran of many, many races. So it'll be intriguing to see what he does with his strategy. We still have battles going on up and down the field. Towards the tail end, there's Jacob P and V-Sonic. That's a battle for 22nd with those two cars we see, not the Fanatec one behind. So they, of course, are jumping out of the way of leaders, which they will have to do with that particular car coming up behind them. Battle for 15th. That is Thomas Sakura. That is the car that... Sakura is the Panasonic car.
Yeah,
that is
Tao Do in the Fanatec car. That is.
Oh, Manu's in now.
Yeah, Manu's in now. It's maybe, I think he could have stayed 1 lap more out, but yeah, maybe.
Well, he had the fuel for it, but maybe he just didn't like how his tyres were going. So
probably, or he's reacting to the cars behind him. Could also be. That's cars behind him already pitted. They are quicker, so he's trying to react and get out in front of them.
Murphy's in. That's interesting. I thought Murphy had already been in.
Yeah, it kind of seems like damage.
Could have been. Invisible is in as well.
But that was a quick stop. I think that was maybe splash or slight repair. Maybe a front wing change.
You wouldn't change a front wing that fast. So Unstopper Paul stops at exactly the same point on my screen. The pit crew have already gone back in the garage. So Unstopper Paul may be there a while. But he has brought his car in. Cataclysm and Gosku are fighting. Gosku is actually ahead of him now.
But yeah, we have now Stu pretty much behind Steve, but Steve still to pit. Stu was already in the pits. So quite interesting how that shapes up.
Yeah, Puff Pirate's getting a 16.5 now, and there is Steve.
Yeah, Steve is now reacting to Manu. We saw Manu is going to the pits, and he's trying to maybe that 1 extra lap maybe got him again a bit closer to Manu.
17.1 for Stu last time around. Puff Pirate is 16.2. Wow, Puff Pirate is now getting on with it. He's got some free air. Those are your lead 2 you've just seen in the shot there, as Steve and Ashnoom have brought their cars in
and I mean,
to the pits.
If I'm not wrong, before this pit stop cycle, the gap was about 7 seconds, so
now
Stu,
under
Stu,
3.
Yeah, Stu lost about 4 to 5 seconds due to refueling.
Wow. Yeah, but we will see how that plays out. So Puff Pirate with 40 litres and 41 for Stu. I mean, that has given him the lead. Murphy was our pole man. Murphy in then now down in 10th position, or now 8th position, because he's gaining positions on those that have come in the pits. Oh, is that Steve? Yeah, that's Steve and Murphy side by side. Steve just come out of the pits, where the Panasonic car loses out. But that's put Murphy straight into a battle that he really didn't need. If he was trying more of an undercut strategy, he did not want to be fighting as soon as somebody came out of the pits, but that is exactly what he has. Although he's already put 6/10 between himself and Steve G.
Yeah.
That's James and Eladir.
James and Eladir.
Yeah, fighting the Sheriffitzer car. They've just gone through 4 and 5. Oh, James.
That was contact.
A tap there. Yeah, a small contact between the two cars. James is just going to squeak ahead.
But it kind of seemed like they touched with the tires, so... Oh!
Wow, Eladir really had a massive snap of oversteer there. It did look like they touched. And
I think he was a bit angry and too aggressive on the DRS, and then the rear end just came out.
Yeah, absolutely. So that rather put an end to the battle he was having with James there. That is for currently 5th position. We've just lost another from the race. We're down to 26 cars, which is how many we will have actually in the real race situation, in the league situation.
Yeah, but now Eladir running a little bit wide. I think that's
a lap car. Yeah, it is indeed. The Fanatec cars are not on the same lap, although pushing quite hard with Eladir.
That's definitely not what he wants. That's a lapped car is pushing you, but and we have now Murphy. Yeah, Murphy is definitely trying to regain some positions after his kind of questionable pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's right on the back of Eladir.
Oh, that was oh my god, that was too aggressive. That was definitely too aggressive.
I think Murphy got a bit caught out there because Eladir was braking quite early, and you could oh dear, go on board.
That looks terminal.
That's full lock to the right, and he can't even turn right enough through turn 4.
I mean, if we would have it, that would be definitely a full course caution now. Yeah. Which would definitely be interesting. Then the pack would be again packed together.
Oh, that's the end of Murphy's race. He cannot even turn the car enough to the right to bring it to the circuit.
And I mean, even if he manages to bring the car back to the pits, I mean that's at least 1 or 2 laps of repairs, if not even more.
Eladir just got out of course.
Yeah,
Eladir
he's also limping back home.
Yeah, Eladir may well have been sporting damage, and just look how much he's struggling with that one as well. So that has just gone. Eladir had a big snap of oversteer that just put him right in the path of Murphy. Murphy couldn't do anything to avoid it, and the pair of them now needing to get to the pits. I think Murphy is going to be... There he is. That's where they are on track, so he's managed to get around turn 8. He's now got to get back across the circuit on a car that won't turn right. Look at that. He's full over. He might not actually be able to get the car into the pits.
Oh, that's dangerous, but... Yeah, it seems like he was checking his relative timing, but still quite dangerous to do that move, especially because you go over a crest right there, so it's quite hard to see cars in front of you.
Either way, we still have battling going on, so Eladir and VSonic has brought their car in as well. Cataclysm and Gosku still fighting for 7th place. The top 6 are fairly well spaced out. As Stu then getting the 16s still on the lap board. Puff Pirate at 71 last time around, so that gap wasn't decreasing any further than that. Cataclysm keeping Gosku honest. That's a battle for 7th. Nada and Dutch Tastic for 14th position, 12th position, beg your pardon. They are fighting then. The 2 Denverville cars are locked in battle, and also Copper Piston and Khalid. Oh, no, that's Copper Piston gone. And we're actually losing quite a few cars, so hopefully we aren't having a big problem, because we're down to 23. We've had a lot of retirements in very short succession, so hopefully we're not experiencing a problem with server side, because we're now down to 23.
Yeah, but I think most of them was due to damage or...
Could well be.
well be...
Cataclysm and Gosku still pretty close together. That's the view from Cataclysm's car. Coming into Roush. Ooh, Gosku got very late onto that one.
Yeah,
Missed the apex.
but Cataclysm also looked very deep. That was quite on the edge, I think. But yeah, he looks far faster through the corners here. So again, probably he's higher downforce setup.
And Taudi's not far behind either in the Fanatec car.
Yeah,
he's actually got he's got a good ringside seat actually for the battle ahead of him. So this is 6, 7, and 8 in very short succession.
A little bit wide from there.
Oh, Taudi again wide. He's
yeah,
on the rumble strip for a long time.
wide.
Couldn't turn in enough. So yeah, that's not going to help him. These three locked in battle. Nada is still trying to keep up with Dutch Tastic as well. But eyes at the moment on this particular battle line, keeping an eye on the timing for the lead. Puff Pirate just did a 16-6 with Stu doing a 17-1. You can't afford to be losing that much gap with what, still
8 laps.
8 laps to do.
8 laps we still have.
At that pace he will definitely lose the lead to Puff Pirate. It does look like Cataclysm is sizing up a move again.
Again down to Rauch. Again very deep locking brakes, but again not enough. It wasn't enough for Cataclysm.
Now, whether Gosku is simply allowing Cataclysm space, or whether he's just struggling to get the apex at turn 4.
It's quite hard. Downhill braking, a very strangely shaped corner. It's very easy to miss the apex there. So, maybe he just feels more comfortable going a little bit wider through there. Would be also be and taking the momentum out of the corner.
Oh, Cataclysm!
On the grass, that is dangerous.
That's very dangerous. But Taudiu is right with him now.
Yeah. He's probably trying to make a move down the start-finish straight.
Let's see, Taudiu was quicker last time around.
Tao's wheel doesn't look straight anymore, so he's probably fighting a bit of damage.
Oh! Wow, that was very, very, very deep into turn 1 for Cataclysm. Missed his breaking point by a mile. That's going to be an easy
I have no idea
if
there was contact or not.
I don't think so. I didn't notice a massive change in direction for Gosku. Taudiu's actually still side by side with Cataclysm. He's going to have to take a very tight line through the apex for Remus. There's Cataclysm. Cataclysm first, second into 9th place then. So Taudiu's going to be straight on Gosku's case. And that's a back marker in the background, I think. Oh, that was someone going on the grass there. That could have been... that's a... Okay, now that was a very weird lag moment for me.
It was for me the same. I mean, I'm not sure that was the race leader. That was Stu. I already thought, like, is Stu coming? He's much quicker. Oh my god.
So that was indeed, well spotted. That is indeed race leader Stu. His day is done. He's parked the car, engine off. His day is done. Puff Pirate is your race leader now.
Again, the unexpected happened, but whoa.
Now that looked like he would look very, very deep into into turn 4. But I think a big lag moment happened there because he suddenly went sideways into Cataclysm.
Yeah, that was really strange. I think we definitely, if he wants to talk, we definitely have to ask what happened there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ashnim and James actually side by side coming into turn 4. Ashnim has gone up into 4th then. Can James do anything about it? Not at the moment. Nice move there. Oh, that's the speeder one.
And
Ashnim.
Talking about Ashnim, what I'm interested in is when there are rain races, he's kind of like the rain god. He has something like he's able to manage the rain tires like nobody else. I have experienced that myself in season 2. He was kind of like an alien on rain tires. It's crazy.
Awesome.
So yeah, will be definitely interesting when we have rain races, which I really hope.
Ashnim is setting some really good. He's actually in the 17s, the same as the leaders.
Yeah.
So he's up to 4th then. He's setting some really impressive lap times as well. Again, not meaning to sound disingenuous. I mean, all of these guys are incredibly quick. I've done a few races myself, and I ended up very much at the back, which I kind of expected. I'm a very inexperienced racer. But that's Ashnim's really cracking on, as we have got 7 laps to go. 6 laps to go, beg your pardon. Can't count. Have a quick rundown then. 20 cars remain. We started with 32. 20 are still with us. Puff Pirate has just inherited the lead from TX3 Steel after his rather unusual crash that he's had. He leads by nearly 20 seconds from Diluvian, who didn't have such a good sprint race, but is right there in a strong podium position. Manu in third place.
Yeah.
5.5 behind Diluvian.
We currently have an old German podium again. So the last season ended with German domination, and it begins again with German domination. So
excellent. Ashley, we've just seen gain that 4th place from James. He's already got 1.2 seconds ahead of the Sheriff car. Let's see what the lap times were last time. 17.3 for Puff Pirate, 17.2 for Diluvian, 17.3 for Manu, 17.7 for Ashnoom, the only guys in the sub 118s. There is Jameson in 5th, 1:18.5 last time and he's 20 seconds ahead of Tauju, so no immediate danger from the Fanatec car. And we'll see what was Manu. Oh, Diluvian!
Oh no!
Is it? Oh no, he's damaged.
He has no front wing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. That car is wanting to turn right, which will help him get into the pit lane.
Whenever you think the race has settled down, something unexpected happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can see that car number 1 is just not going the direction that it should be going. That isn't.
Looks really banged up.
Yeah, he's going to be in the pits for a while. So, Diluvian from 2nd position. And that is just completely unraveled for him. Jacob P brings his car into the pits as well. I'm assuming Jacob P had plenty of fuel. So, as did Diluvian. So that is brought his race to an end. A great shame then for Diluvian. Gift Manu 2nd place as he's caught up to the back of a fellow Denverville car. James has actually brought his car in as well. Yeah, plenty of fuel. So
also interesting prop. Maybe also damage. Maybe he still has to do the pit stop. That could be.
Could be. Absolutely. There we go. There's the 3 cars in. Diluvian, James, and Jacob P. He's in there for a while. So yeah, I would suggest that is the tyre stop he's just done, and that's Diluvian that has retired the car. That's why you just saw the car shoot backwards into the pit box. Yeah, James is on his way. That was a tyre stop. So serving the mandatory. Dutch Tastic is just coming around turn 10.
Yeah, I think behind him is already Puff Pirate, so he's going to lap them. Okay, no, that was again.
Nope.
Now me mixing up Sheriff Tyser cars.
Yeah. Well, they all look the same, so
yeah. It's only the number on the car, but from that distance. Me with my bad eyes, I can't read that. But yeah.
So that puts Ashnoom then up into, as we said before, up into 3rd.
Yeah, it's now 3 more laps to go for Ashnoom.
Yep. Lap 29 is lap 29 is already nearly finished.
Yeah, it's crazy. The first 4 or 5 cars are in the lead lap. Everybody else is already lapped.
Yeah, actually, it's only the podium 3. Taudi is 119 behind, and it's a 116 lap. Yeah, so it's only the podium 3 on the lead lap.
That's crazy.
That is once again Puff Pirate showing his alien pace.
2 more laps to go, and then Puff Pirate will. I'm not talking about because then I'm jinxing it, but I will talk it once it happens. Because what we have seen in this race, I'm not trusting the commentator's curse anymore.
Well, and also bear in mind we've lost nearly half the field.
Yeah.
And all of the drivers are absolutely exceptional, so it's just been.
I mean, you have to mention, because we mixed up the 2 splits, the kind of time gap was a bit bigger, which makes the thing a bit more dangerous. I think we won't see that many DNFs in the races then.
No.
The league races when it's
absolutely not.
more splitted by skill and pace. Yeah, when it's more balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, Puff Pirate comes around the last 2 turns to start the 31st and final lap.
Yeah, white flag is coming out, signaling the final lap. I think he will definitely enjoy it with 24 seconds lead.
Yeah, well, let's ride on board with him through Castrol Edge. Wanders over. I mean, he could pretty much just coast at this point. He's 25 seconds to the good. He could just... He could stay in first and probably still do it, but I don't think he will. Through turn 2, into Remus, turn 3. Blows. He kicks the tail out, but why not?
Yeah, a little bit already of sliding for the fans.
Streaming on down to Roush. How do you pronounce that? I've been pronouncing it differently to you.
Rauch.
Rauch.
Yeah, Rauch. It's a German kind of fruit juice.
Oh, okay.
Or an Austrian fruit juice, which belongs to the Red Bull company.
Oh, okay. I'm very keen on getting these pronunciations right. So
yeah, that's definitely something we can work on until the end of the season. But I mean, next week is going to be interesting with the Nürburgring. But then, race number 2 at Brno, that's going to be horrible with Czech.
That's going to be
Czech corner names. But yeah, now I can say it. Puff Pirate is sweeping the pre-season event at Red Bull Ring.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible job of him. And yeah, Manu is definitely having a kind of a rehabilitation ride this time around. And we have Diluvin in the chat saying cheers. Yeah, he definitely brought on a great show, but unfortunately it didn't last for the whole race.
Indeed. So Manu then is going to cross the line to take the second podium spot.
Yeah, and definitely the surprise of the race in P3, Eshnum.
Yes, he will be very happy with that, I imagine. He was setting some really good pace when wasn't being challenged. So Ashley then, if I've got this right, should be the last car to cross the line. Or at least one of the last cars to catch the line, because I think he's the only one left on the lead lap. There's one of the sheriff's cars going fairly slow ahead of it. This is one of the blue ones behind, so they may well be pressing on. So no, there were still others to come.
Teru, yeah, don't know if he's already under AI control. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
so he was.
So the top 3 guys in one lap. That's quite unusual. But yeah, Puff Pirate winning in front of Today and Eshnum. That we have definitely a lot of people in front, which we didn't expect. Or at least I didn't expect that far in the front.
Yeah, absolutely. With Tauji 4th, Unstoppable 5, Gosku 6, James 7, Dutch Tastigate, Invisible 9, Nada rounding out the top 10. We had 19 finishers out of the starting 32, so it was quite a high rate of attrition. But exactly as Wayfarer said earlier, that's probably due in no small part to the mixture of the two splits. So in the league scenario, they should be a bit more balanced, which should probably mean that the field will not be lapping each other as much.
Yeah.
So a lot more racing going on.
And I think we should try to already get the man of the race, Puff Pirate. Okay, yeah, I have him.
Yeah, go for it, because I can't drag anybody across. So hopefully be able to speak to our double race winner. Channel. And there he is, the man of the moment, Mr. Puff Pirate.
Hello.
What a cracking pair of races for you.
Oh yeah.
So, starting as you mean to go on?
Yeah, can we please make those count?
Yeah, that's it. The championship is done. Nice.
Puff Pirate defending his title. History is written, nice 3-time champion.
I fear they won't make it this easy for me.
I'm not sure they were trying to make it easy for you this time, in all honesty. It was just a case of, Puff Pirate's in the lead and gone.
Gone, yeah. First race was awesome. And in the second race, Stu, found an afterburner. In the
I mean,
the beginning of the race,
what we can tell you, Puffy, is that Stu started with very low fuel. And he was actually nearly out of fuel when he pitted. So he was also refueling on his pit stop.
Ah.
Which might explain his incredible pace at the beginning.
Interesting strategy.
Oh, so was that just a race to see how the car felt, or were you pretty confident that you were going to be towards the front of the field this time again?
Well, I hope to be up there, but I didn't really get a lot of practice in. Spend an hour on the setup. The track is easy to learn, so. But it was definitely nice seeing that I'm right in the mix again. Good prospect.
Awesome stuff. It was certainly good for us to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, was some good battles. I think the car's actually quite good to race. I mean, you lose a bit of front end in the dirty air, but you can follow quite nicely. Actually, I think it's gonna be a good car to battle.
Yeah, we are definitely looking forward to the next races. And yeah, thanks for talking to us, Puff Barrett, and we wish you a lot of luck for Monday for your home race.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance. I won't get the corner names right.
It's okay. Just say 1, 2, 3.
I'll manage that much. Thank you very much, Puff Barrett.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Cheers for commentating.
Oh,
And
great pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Great. I'm already looking forward to watching your streams after the race.
Awesome. Awesome.
Cool. I'll need a
Nice.
shower.
Do we see if we can get hold of Mr. Manu?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, catch you later, guys.
Good night.
See you later, Puff Barrett.
User left your channel.
And there he is. We've interrupted a conversation which us commentators always strive to do.
Yeah, I was just a middle of... never mind. Hello.
Mr. Manu, what a great race for you. Certainly second time around. So, bit less damage on the car, assumedly? Because you were still sitting in a pretty decent pace towards the end. How was that one for you?
Yeah, it was like I struggled quite a lot in the beginning because I underestimated the full tank. But yeah, like more and more laps I did, the more I got into my rhythm, and I think in the end I was catching Diluvian. I was like holding kind of the gap to Puffy in the end. So yeah, I'm rather happy for the preseason tonight. It was a good one.
So do you prefer the car as it was lighter, or was it just more a case of getting used to how the car felt when it was heavier?
Well, to be honest, I didn't prepare. My first lap was like in the qualifying of the sprint race. And
Goodness me.
so yeah, my first lap with full fuel was basically when the race started. So
Wow.
Was a little bit had unfortunately no time, work commitments and stuff. But but the more fuel, like let's say like 50 liters and beyond that, the car was feeling really good, really stable. Like sometimes you go a little bit wide, but other than that, I was super happy with everything.
Awesome stuff. So, are you looking to? Were you confident on being towards the front? Are you looking forward to challenging Puff Barrett for the wins, or is it just a case of see how well you do with the car as we go through the season?
I don't know. I mean, I know that Puffy didn't practice either, so we were on the same playground. But he's still like, let's say like 3-4 faster. I need to find them on the track. But we will see. I will have a good practice session on Sunday, and then we will go from there. But definitely, I'm not sure if I can attack like Murphy or Espard or Puff Pirate like every race, but I'm trying to annoy them a little bit. Maybe one another race.
In your own special way. Look forward to it. Look forward to it. If tonight was anything to go by, we are in for a great season.
Oh yeah, definitely, and thanks guys for commentating even on the preseason event.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
You will know what I will watch when I go to bed. Definitely will watch that.
That was good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right, and many thanks guys, and I guess I go down to the debrief again.
Yeah.
So have a good one, guys, and thanks again.
Thank you, Manu.
Thank you very much.
And I think we should get the third
User left
guy
your
on the
channel.
podium, Ashnum.
Ash Noom, yeah, definitely get his
User
feeding
was moved to your
on
channel.
how things went. And there he is. Ash Noom, are you with us?
I'm here.
Excellent. Well, great job on getting in third place on that on the second race. How was that one for you? You were setting some really good pace as you were carving your way through the field?
I was very, very happy in the end that I finished the race in 3rd place, seeing as I started at 12th, and the sprint race at, was it 18th or something? Yeah, I was really happy.
Excellent stuff. So how was the car? How did the car feel? Did you have damage? We didn't really see you a great deal in the sprint race. There was so much going on towards the front that we didn't see most of the field indeed. But was it just a case that the car felt a bit different, or did you have trouble in the first race?
First race I had a spin at the hairpin, and then I had a small touch with someone which lost me my front wing, so I had to pit, and that took me a whole lap to pit. So
I see.
That ended up somewhere in the end. And the second race I had only 5 aero damage at the rear at start, so...
Great stuff, great stuff.
And Ashno, as I know you, you're probably looking forward to rainy races, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next races. Definitely now. I really expected me to be somewhere midfield, somewhere at the back, because usually I'm very bad at high downforce cars. But yeah, it feels really great.
Great stuff. Really look forward to the upcoming season.
Same.
Thank you, Ashno.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Yeah, from what we've seen, I think it's definitely going to be a great season. And yeah, other than that, I think it's...
I think the midfield for the first split is going to be very tight. Seeing as qualifying as well, the first qualifying, there were 5 people around 1 minute 17 and 0, something like that. So it's going to be very tight, I guess.
Brilliant. Look forward to it.
Yep.
Thank you,
User
Weston.
was moved out of
And
your
I think
channel.
that's going to wrap it up for us.
Yeah.
As we've spoken to our top 3. Thank you for keeping me on the straight and narrow way, Ferro. I really look forward to commentating this season with you. It's going to be good.
Same here for me. And good thing is, we actually don't have to wait a whole week for the race.
Nope.
The race is on Monday, 2030 European summertime, or 1930 British time, or 1830 UTC, whichever time zone you want to choose. It will be again, I think, us two. Then hopefully without any technical difficulties. That should be all sorted out. And we will definitely have great racing with some people that were missing today, like Project PD, Fab, Iceman, Alex Selman, that will definitely challenge at the front. And I mean, the wonderful track at of Nürburgring. I mean,
it's a fan and driver's favorite.
Yeah.
I absolutely love commentating there.
Probably won't be that much of a draft fest like it is here, because not so many straights, but I think it will be still a very entertaining race there.
Indeed, indeed. So that is going to be it. Thank you very much for those that have watched the stream, and for those catching up later, again, thank you to those, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, see you next time, guys, and if you liked what you've seen, check out revolutionsimracing.com, and with a bit of luck, you might be the champion of Season 6.
We look forward to seeing you then.